Egyptian Museum is the oldest archaeological museum in the Middle East and houses the largest collection of pharaonic antiquities in the world. The museum displays an extensive collection spanning from the pre-dynastic period to the Greco-Roman era. The architect of the building was selected through an international competition, 1895, which was the first of its kind and was won by the French architect Marcel Dorgnon. The museum also was inaugurated in 1902 by Kheref Abbas Hilmi II and has become a historic landmark in downtown Cairo. To know more about the displayed artifacts in the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir, we are very much delighted to host Mrs. Monira Hamdy, the head of the cultural activities at the Egyptian Museum. Thank you very much, Mrs. Monira, for being with us today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism asserted after the Royal Mummies Parade that the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities won't die. Now, your comment on the statement focusing on the ongoing efforts to develop the museum and also ensure that it gets its fair share of visitors.
Actually, the Egyptian Museum in the downtown or in Cairo is a unique place, not only with the basis which included or the collection or the object, but only with the an instruction and the building itself. Of course, the Egyptian Museum will not die. Of course, we will continue, and the Egyptian Museum playing official role of being a center, culture and education central essential in Egypt, especially with the students and every visitors. We have a unique collection, a wonderful basis, and also all the time we are making a new display of the object to be modern and according to the new method of the display of the museums. Yeah, so we're working. Yes, so hard.
From what you're saying, Mrs. Monira, the museum will serve after the opening of GEM as a sustainable educational and cultural center. You said that you are attracting more students, more visitors. You're focusing on certain groups. Would you please clarify and also tell us if there are certain activities for children in the museum?
Yes, actually, there's a lot of programs and activities for the children and also for the students. We have in our culture activities here in the museum, we make and organize culture for a different topic according to or just serve the special ceremony and also occupied with what's going on in the museum. And also we have every year we doing a training for the students of the archaeology university from different university to have a look of what's going on inside the museum and what the curator doing in the museum and what we did and the object, how we make a new display and how we make them in a new shape. And also we training the student to deal with the visitor, how to deal with the visitor, what is the rule of the visiting the museum, how to be the manner where they act with the visitor. And also we have a lot of activities with the children and the school children. We go in two parts. One part we make a program, a special program for training the children inside the museum and deal with the replica. We have some replica pieces of the original pieces to touch. You know, the children love to touch things, to have direct contact. So we already have a replica of some pieces to deal with them and tell the story of ancient Egyptian through this replica. And also in the other side, we ourselves go to the school and explain how to enjoy with the museum and keep the museum, and also in sustainable development, the meaning of sustainable development, and how the best use of your resources with preserve and keep the resources for other generation. So this is our job, as this is what we did now, to explain to the children and the student how to deal or how to serve this heritage and this our history.
Does holding cultural and entertainment events in the museum actually help in attracting more visitors from Egypt and around the world?
Yes, actually, we made announcing in the Facebook page and the website, or the official website of the museum, of our activities. Otherwise, there is cultural activities or program for the children or student, so they know before what we are doing, and also it's helping so much and attract a lot of Egyptian and Arab, and also the foreigner ask if they can allow to present the lecture we did in the museum, and to educate them and know more than the Egyptian history and the Egyptian culture. Yes, it's attractive a lot of different kind of people. Yes.
And the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities has, in recent months, been added to the UNESCO World Heritage Site tentative list. What is the significance of that, Ms. Moon?
Actually, the importance of the Egyptian Museum is not only the object or the collection which we have or in display in the museum. No, the building itself become a heritage site, and also the showcases. You can imagine this showcases from 1902, from the year which they opening the museum. So we have a project, a cooperation project with the European Union to reach the original color of the walls and the original decoration of the wall, to reach to the original shape or the original view of the museum. So it's important not only with the object and the history, but the buildings, the showcases, everything, the facade of the building, also the garden, every single corner in the museum tell a story. You can imagine the story behind the object itself. It's amazing, yes. And there are some people came to the museum and asking for a specific object, and they would like to know the story of the museum, the story of every single object.
Actually, several movies and series were filmed at the museum. In your opinion, how do you see this? How do you see the importance of shooting films and series inside the museum in bringing more visitors to it?
Actually, a lot of directors and programs and producer are inspiring with when they visit the museum. So they have an idea to film a lot of scenes, a lot of museum series inside the museum, and that make a spot and show like a marketing campaign you did without paying anything, actually, to make everyone know that the museum have a lot to give. It's not only for visiting or for education or for culture. It's also we have a wonderful places, and we have a lot to do. So yes, this is give us a big spot on the Egyptian Museum, and when they watching this films or whatever they are moving as a movie, they are searching where is this location, and they some of visitors asking, is this the museum they were filming or having some scene in this film. And yes, we said, and they asking for some a specific location. Yes, we said, yes, they are here. This is stairs. Yes, this object, this is statue, and some from there, and some from, yes, they asking for. So this is make us. We are still. Here and the museum, we have a lot to give. Yes, we're not going to die. Yes.
Definitely. And what type of cultural activities and entertainment events that you usually hold in the museum?
Actually, we make a lecture and we make a training for the, like I said before, for the student of archaeologists, and also we make and add a new entertainment. We have a scene and we make a documentary film. The ministry make a documentary film, and we are the head of the culture activity. I made a film of the museum and the masterpiece and the VIP tours in the museum, and the new display what's happened in the museum. So we have this film and documentary film in the screen. So it's one of our using how to use the technology to keep on and go on with what happened in the recently. So this is a little view of our culture activity actually.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much, Mrs. Monira Hamdy, the head of the cultural activities here at the Egyptian Museum. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.